Greetings everyone, Master Grogan here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. So, titled this video, and you can see I'm a little on the sweaty side here, and of course my long uncut hair for about 8-10 weeks now. But anyway, titled this video, Homegrown Chemicals, man, they're the best. What am I talking about? What's the homegrown chemicals that are working for me? I'm talking about the chemicals that are homegrown in your own body. I'm talking about endorphins. Yeah, that endorphin release. What is that? Well, when you get exercise and you get moving, then endorphins are like that runner's high, right? You know, you may be aching, you may not be feeling the best, but let me tell you something. Motion creates emotion, meaning you get moving. And let me back up. Today, I'll tell you, I was, not to have a pity party, but, you know, I'm a human being. So I have my days when I just feel like bleh, right? Things aren't going right, frustrated. Of course, being a small business owner right now is extremely frustrated. And you compound that in the fact that I live in the state of Illinois. Right? So I'm a human being, and sometimes, you know, as Rocky says, life will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. And there's been days when I've been down on the knees and I'm like, oh, God, do I really want to do this? And I mean, sometimes I really think that. But I always know, do I have a choice? No, I don't have a choice. I got to get back up, perseverance, battle through. But I'm butting you to death here by creating motion and movement. I got here tonight. We did our Zoom classes, which is how we do our classes right now, our virtual classes. Did 6 of those babies, and man, oh man, got energized and pumped it out. 3 hours with the classes, and boom! And then I actually knocked out a few of my own senior forms, master's forms, and got a good little sweat going. And I wasn't planning on filming a video tonight, but I thought, man, what better way and to help, once again, to help bully-proof the folks that listen. And then, of course, you can apply this to your kids. That's the whole thing, right, about being bully-proof. And what is bully-proof for our newer listeners? Well, bully-proof is all about having that hope, that confidence, that belief in yourself to overcome your fears, to battle through your challenges, to stand back up when life or a bully or the bully in your mind has knocked you down or beat you to your knees. You back up to fight one more round. That's what bully-proof is, battling. Now, for those that are listening, I'm a believer that we're never getting rid of bullying. Now, it's great people put up stop bullying signs and kids dress in blue shirts and all that other stuff. That's good, spread awareness. But bullying's been around since Cain and Abel, and that didn't fare too well for Abel. And they didn't have social media and all the ways people have to bully nowadays. So bullying's always going to be there. But what bully-proof is, that's building that confidence inside, that belief in your mind through your battling, you're working, you're getting those endorphin releases from exercising and battling through, you're feeling good about yourself. And the better you feel about yourself, the more ammo you have to fight those bullies. And I'm not saying get engaged in battles on social media. I'm saying believe enough in yourself to turn away from that nonsense, to block and delete those people. That's being bully-proof. Building up enough to let those negative arrows bounce off. If it's somebody on social media, you're never going to change their mind anyway, so why waste time trying? You say, well, you say not to try. No, I'm saying spend your time, your priceless time, on things that really matter. Your family, yourself. Yeah, because if you're not at your best, and it's just something my mentors tell me all the time, look, man, you can't pour from an empty cup. If you're not at your best, you can't serve at your best. So, back to the title of this video. What homegrown chemicals are the best? I was down today. You know, it's a gloomy, rainy day outside today. And like I said, being a small business owner in the state of Illinois, there's a lot of things to be depressed about. And I go through those things. I do. I get a little seasonal depression because I'm solar powered. I need to be outside. But I got here tonight and I kicked some butt, if I do say so myself, of empowering others. And then I knocked out a couple forms and got a good old sweat going here. And this long hair, I may just keep the long hair. I don't know. But anyway, got that endorphin release. And that endorphin is kind of physically got some aches and pains, but when those endorphins are pumping through your body, they combat cortisol. Cortisol is your stress chemical, the chemical that just floods your veins when you're under stress and pressure. And the more cortisol you have in your body, the less your body functions at its maximum capacity. Your digestive system doesn't work right. It means you don't break down and process foods. You don't go to the bathroom. What else breaks down when you got so much cortisol rushing through your body is your immune system. Your immune system's not working properly. That's a big thing. You need a strong, healthy immune system right now with this COVID-19 thing. Truth is, you need a strong immune system anytime, but especially right now. But if you're all stressed out, man, that cortisol gives you that fight or flight. That's why we have it. It gives us that superhuman strength if we need to defend ourselves. Or back in the old days, you need to run from a saber-toothed tiger. But the thing is, the fight or flight is meant to get out of your system immediately. not stay in our system, keep continuously coursing through our veins. That's the reason our immune system and our digestive system and even our growth system, like our hair and everything else, stops when we're stressed out. It's crazy. But we need all those systems collectively working together with the cortisol to help us during that fight or flight, or to help us in the old days of outrunning a saber-toothed tiger. You know, you hear stories of moms lifting cars off babies. That's the power of cortisol. But that cortisol's got to get flushed out. If it doesn't, it stays in there, and of course you're subjected to getting sick. You know, your health goes down the tubes. And the best way to get that cortisol out, exercise. I know, it's like, well, that's not rocket science. No, and I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. I'm just reminding you. Yeah, and by reminding you, I'm also reminding myself, and that's the beauty of it. So endorphins, those feel-good chemicals, boy, oh boy, that runner's high, it masks that pain, so you just want to keep going. You got that sweat going, you're feeling good. You got those joints, and they're not feeling the best, but man, you're feeling good about it. So the more better you feel, the more you push yourself. Now, of course, as a reminder, if you haven't exercised in a while, don't try and go from 0 to 60, because boy, oh boy, you're going to have those endorphins kicking in, which is great. But then the next day you'll be like, oh my gosh, what the heck happened here? So be careful with that. We got to be sensible. I say that because I need to hear it too. But I'm telling you, motion creates emotion. You've got to get moving, even especially those days when you don't feel like it. Get some kind of movement going, and emotionally, it's going to strengthen you. Yeah. Now, last night I talked about your emotional health. And your emotional health, in my opinion, I have put together something that, I don't know. I mean, I've borrowed bits and pieces from everybody, but I believe we have an emotional table. Your table is your emotional health, and it stands on 3 legs: the mental leg, the spiritual leg, and the physical leg. And those legs, if we don't work those evenly, that table is going to be off balance. And if we try and stack anything on that table, what's going to happen? It's going to slide off. Meaning, if emotionally we're not healthy, if we're not stable, and we try and pile stuff on there, and I'm telling you all this stuff because I've tried my best, pile stuff on and then try and adjust the table, you know, metaphorically speaking. But truthfully, you know, I try and pile stuff on. I've always got way too many irons in the fire. But the best way to think clearer, and more clearly is through exercise. Like I said, I'm not going to tell you anything you don't already know. We know this. It's the best way to build your immune system. Physical activity. Now, I'm kind of focusing on endorphins because that's the one that you automatically get. But there's 3 other feel-good chemicals. Another one's dopamine. Now, dopamine, that's that quick hit of, yes, I reached the goal. Yes, I'm going to try even harder. Yes, it's good. Now, dopamine, of course, it can be very addictive, right? The same chemicals or same, like smoking, gambling, drinking, that's a dopamine hit. Or on social media, every time you get a like, it's a dopamine hit. So you want more, you want more, you want more. Now, it's good if it's regulated, but dopamine can be awfully dangerous as well. So we've got endorphins and dopamine. We call those the selfless chemicals because it makes you feel good. The other 2 chemicals are serotonin and oxytocin, and those are the selfless chemicals. Serotonin's all about when you do something to make somebody else feel good, right? You help out somebody without expecting anything in return. You smile just to brighten somebody's day. That's the serotonin. That's a good chemical. You're helping somebody else. And the next one to take it a step further is oxytocin. And that is the golden rule, basically, chemical. Do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. Or do unto others better, far better than you could ever expect them to do for you. And what you get from that is, and here's an example of oxytocin, how that works is, say you're walking down the street and somebody's backpack is open and their papers are flying all over the place. Well, you, instantaneously, you just go, you're a good person, you go and pick those up, right? You pick up those papers and you, hey, here you go, man, you drop these papers. Now, you're feeling good because you're helping somebody else. The person says, wow, man, thank you. I really appreciate that. So now they feel good thinking there's still some humanity left in the world, right? But here's the power of oxytocin. Not only do you and the person you help feel good, but there could be somebody on that sees this happening and they get a hit of oxytocin. They're thinking, man, all right, there are good people in the world. And maybe you catch up to them and they say, man, I saw what you did for that guy. That was fantastic. Good for you. And then they're automatically feel like, man, I need to do something for somebody else. Kind of like the same thing if you pay for somebody's food in the drive-through line. You pay for them behind you for no inherent reason, just because it's the right thing to do. You feel good, you know they feel good. Now they're probably going to say, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and pay for the person behind me. The reason I'm talking about these feel-good chemicals is right now, during this pandemic, during we're all stressed out, we got cortisol flushing through our body nonstop, and we need to flush that stuff out. We need to make sure we're getting some physical activity. We need to make sure we're doing stuff to keep our pitcher full, because we can't pour from an empty pitcher, an empty cup. Now, like I said, to reiterate, I was kind of feeling a little yucky today. Now, I will say this. I see Denise is on the line here. Diane's on the line too. I got a chance to speak to one of my mentors today, Chris Widener, and he always helps make me kind of kick me in the butt to make me take those actionable steps to progress and move forward. So that helped out, but nothing helped out as much as coming here tonight. And I'll tell you, I didn't want to. I did not want to. But I was obligated. My word is law. I said I was going to do it. You know, these Zoom calls, I'm doing everything I can. And not only me, but our whole team of empowering our kids and our students and our families to not only keep training, but, well, obviously to keep the business going too, but to keep that emotional table stable. And when you exercise, when you work out, when you do something, and it could be just going for a walk in the neighborhood or heck, doing some air squats, anything to get those endorphins going, to get that dopamine hit. Yes, I did something for me. And then the serotonin, do something for someone else. That means maybe somebody's getting bullied online and you do something to kind of help them out, to stand up for them. Yeah. Or maybe just out of the blue, send a text to somebody you haven't talked to in a while. Hey man, I'm just checking up on you. Hope you're doing okay. I just want to say I appreciate you. Send out I love you. You know, us tough macho karate guys who can't say I love you. Well, that's a bunch of garbage. Anybody that talks like that has so much ego. I don't want to have anything to do with them. I'm a human. I've got emotions. There's days I feel like crying, but I'm not too afraid to say I'm a Christian. I'm not too afraid to say I love you. I'm not. Why? Because maybe at some point in time I wasn't courageous enough or had the confidence to do it. And I know there's thousands, if not millions, maybe billions out there that may be going through the same doggone thing. So I want you to know, hey, we're all human here. We're all battling. We're all struggling. But I want you to be your very, very best, because you can't be your best for others if you're not your very best right now. So to kind of reiterate, homegrown chemicals, baby, they're the best. They really are. And they're the chemicals we already have inside of us. We just have to get those chemicals out. We do. Now, cortisol, it's not a bad thing. No. Cortisol is, like I said, it's there for that fight or flight. You need that extra strength. And just back in the caveman days, you're walking by and saber-toothed tiger jumps out. You got to have that cortisol rush to outrun that tiger or grab a club and beat the tiger to save your life. You got to have it. Well, that prehistoric brain is still there. It still produces that cortisol. But once again, it's meant to be flushed out. It's not meant to continue coursing through our veins, because if it does, immune system's down, unhealthy, digestive system's down, diseases set in, catch infections, catch the coronavirus. Ugh. So what's the best homegrown chemical? It's grown inside you, baby. Endorphins. How do you get those endorphins to work? Physical activity. And that's a way to become bully-proof. Once again, bully-proof is all about building that confidence, building that courage, doing something to help you become your very, very best, to believe in yourself, to stand up for yourself and stand up for others. Have the Teflon vest, baby. I'm bully-proof. Those negative arrows are bouncing off. Mentally, I'm strong enough because I feel good because I did something to release those feel-good chemicals. What are they again? What are the feel-good chemicals? They are, Tom. Looking good, man. Thanks, buddy. You like the long hair? Feel-good chemicals are endorphins, dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin. And they're right here inside of us, man. They are. We just got to get them out. But all the stress and pressure we're under, seems like cortisol's running and ruining a lot of our lives. And let's talk about, I was kind of dragging a little bit today. Not a little bit, but a lot bit. I didn't want to come here, but I'm so glad I did. And I'm also so glad I see so many friends popping up on the line here. Thank you so very much. I know time is the most sacred commodity. We'll never get it back. And the fact that you're giving me a piece of your life right now, I promise I'm going to give you everything I've got. And there's Judith again. Good to see you as always, Judith. Thank you. My heart and soul, lay it out here. And of course, the danger of laying it out here is people can fillet it and cut it up, slice it, dice it like julienne fries. And sometimes that happens. But I've learned a very special thing. My part of bully proof is avoid that nonsense. Love, block, and delete. You got somebody that's harassing you, and I used to think I got to show up to every fight. I did a video on that a week or two ago, and saying you don't have to show up on every fight. That doesn't make you a coward. I used to think, man, somebody's going to challenge me that I'm showing up because I'm going to show them I'm not a coward. Well, I'll be truthful and be honest with you. Bang, right hook of reality. I was an idiot. The amount of time I was showing up for fights why? And I'm not always talking about physical fights, and I did everything I can to avoid those, but a lot of times I'd show up for these ridiculous fights on social media, and I sure as heck can't win that because I can't jump through the computer and pop somebody. That's probably not the best thing to do anyway, right? But, I mean, emotions, right? But don't show up for every fight. That's another way of bully-proofing yourself. And time, like I said, you're giving it to me, baby. I'm going to give you everything I've got to help empower you. I'm going to share, some personal stories with you. Tell you about how I failed in the past. Tell you about the mistakes I made in the past. Tell you about some of the sins I've done in the past. Why? Because we're all human. And if you can learn from some of my goof-ups, gosh darn it, then maybe you're not going to repeat them. And you're not going to live with that regret. Now, one of the best things I've done, in December 2017, I was baptized. Now, I'll tell you, when I got out of that water, it's pretty dirty. But, man, cleansed the soul, baby. It did. And I feel good. I feel real good. And that doesn't mean I don't have down days. That's just all part of being a human. As Rocky says, the world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. We're a mean, nasty, ugly place. I don't care how tough you are. It'll beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it, right? Yeah. Let me keep going. Yeah, you, me, nobody hits as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you can hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, then go out and get what you're worth. But you got to be willing to take the hits. And you can't be pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that. Yeah, you're better than that. You are. Woo! Now, you talk about a pump, right? Cortisol's all out of me, baby. I'm feeling good. And that's the power, once again, of endorphins, dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin, the 4 feel-good chemicals. And I'll tell you, these are things 5 years ago I'd never even heard of before. I'd probably heard of endorphins before, but not dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin. And that's the power of self-educating. Continue to try and fill your cup to better serve others. Yeah, man, I've got that serotonin pumping, oxytocin pumping right now. So, good stuff. I see all kind of messages popping up here, but I have a hard time reading them. I'll reply back, though. So, thank you. Judith, always awesome to see you pop up on the line and always leaving nice comments and messages. And I saw my buddy Tom was on there, and Denise was on there earlier, and Mattarelli, and a few others. So, thank you so very much for popping on the line and taking the time. Make sure I don't goof this up by doing this. There you go. Rick was on the line. Man, all kinds of friends. So, thank you so very much, everybody. Nathan, good stuff, buddy, for jumping on the line. Nathan, you always do a great job of posting the stats of how many people recovered from the coronavirus, the stats that the news media never post. So good stuff, Nathan. I appreciate that. Keep doing that, buddy. We need that positivity, right? Yeah, the one I talked about last night, the emotional table. Unfortunately, the news media does everything they can. They go out of their way to find the negativity. In other words, hypothetically speaking, 1,000 people were tested for COVID-19. 999 were negative. Yes, let's celebrate. But not the news media. What they do is they say, oh, the numbers continue to increase. Well, truthfully, yeah, one person has tested positive. The numbers did increase. But let's look at the 999 who tested negative. That's what we should be celebrating. That would be celebrating the dopamine hit. Yes, we're getting better. But the news media wants to keep you flooded with cortisol, so you're scared to death to move. Anyway, I'd like to right hook the news media and left uppercut. All right, getting violent. All right, folks, I've said enough. Best homegrown chemicals are grown inside you, baby. The best way to be bully-proof and live your best kick in life is to be your very, very best. Now, there's it's a Japanese term called satori. Satori is in the moment at your best. And that's from other mentor, Hanshi Dave Kovar, which is, man, blessings to that man. He is absolutely incredible. And then I saw my instructor, Sabram George Mans, pop on here a little while ago. And what an incredible man he is. He's helped build me up and give me the confidence to move forward and achieve a lot of things that I've achieved in life. So many blessings to the many influences I've had and continue to have. And you hear me talk about all the time. You are who you surround yourself with. You surround yourself with people that are going to drive you and push you and propel you to heights greater than you ever imagined. You're going to reach things you never dreamed of. However, if you surround yourself with anchors that are going to pull you down, continue to make you feel bad, man, they're going to pull you down to depths you don't want to go to. So get out of that thing. Get up. Get moving. Get those endorphins going. Get that dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin going. Those homegrown chemicals. Get those things surging through your veins. And I promise, not only going to be bully-proof, but you're going to live your best kick in life. And what is a kick in life? That means life has kicked your butt. It's kicked you down, but you're getting back up. It's not a good life. It's not a great life. It's a kick in life, baby. You are kicking life's butt. Taking names, cashing checks, and being your best. All right, that's it. Thank you so very much for your time. I truly appreciate it. I love you. Please leave your comments. I'll reply back to, I'll do my best to reply back to every single one of them. If there's a topic you'd like to hear me talk about, if you got questions about bulletproof or kicking life, throw those in the comment box. And like I said, I'll do my best to get back to every single one of them. I love you. God loves you. Please share that love with the world. And until we talk again, you get out there and do your best. And I mean your very best. Do your very best at taking care of you, because you got to be your best in order to help others be their best. Get out there and do your best, and I promise you'll be your very best. God bless you. God bless your loved ones. Get out there. You're bully-proof now. You've empowered. Live your best kick in life. Talk to you soon, everybody. Bye-bye.